this topic. What is the suggestion? The topic of today's discussion? Enlightenment is total surrender. What is the meaning of this? Enlightenment is total surrender. Please contemplate and tell me what you understand. Enlightenment is total surrender. It's not something ordinary, but I am going to give you an opportunity. Sip Kamalji, Sip Sanjay, Siba Siri, Sip Atmanand, Renuka, Mini Air, Harshal Chidanand, Sip Rumataji, Viresh, Girishanand, Sadanand, Sip Pix Alak Ashwin and Jyoti, Sip Krishnanama Krishna Sarlanand, Ashwin, Sip Bliko, Anil, Girija, Prakasha, Sip Prakash, Atmatre, Anil, Gigi, Sip Partiyama, Mita, Vikrant, Ahem Atma, Samatma, Sip Soham, Sita, Chotwani, Abha, Sip Bliss, Sagai, Gaurav, I think Girish Anand, I can't see. Okay, welcome. Welcome, welcome, my dear friends. Who wants to take a hit? We have Sachin, right? Sachin, tell me, what is your understanding? Unmute Sachin.
Oh, Shivam Guruji.
Shivam Sachin.
Enlightenment can only happen, as per my understanding from the classes, is that only when ignorance is gone. Unless we are in ignorance, the enlightenment cannot take place. And
That is
unless we
awakening.
start to, sorry?
That is awakening. When ignorance goes, you are awakened.
Right. So the next step after that, it follows. Once you start to leave the ignorance and be in consciousness and believe that, have a faith, have a hope, have a clear understanding that you start to see tip in everyone, that's where you are in the path of enlightenment. Unless that first step happens, you cannot go into enlightenment before that.
So, what is the condition of surrender?
Surrender is when you believe that whatever is God doing, it's you give it everything out. You don't
So,
object. I mean, I used to object before. You used to protest, like I will say. So now once you accept what is happening, that is what is basically the process, I feel.
okay, but I think it's much deeper. I'm asking you to think one more time. Siri and Abba is coming in. Enlightenment is total surrender. Understanding this statement is very important for those of you who want to go from AFA to EFE. What is this enlightenment is total surrender meaning? So, Sachin, please think again. Siri, Abha, Pliko. Siri, Abha, and Bliko. And
Shivam,
Krishna. Shiva, Siri.
as per my understanding, enlightenment, total surrender means they have already surrendered. Once you are enlightened, you live as a divine instrument. Rest of the people, they tell that we are surrendering, trying, but they have already surrendered. Once you are enlightened, you be as a divine instrument. Whatever sip work is there, you do only that. You have nothing of your own will, nothing. Means you
So
know
life is
everything is a drama, everything is
then life
Leela.
is very boring. Then life is very boring after that.
No, no, no. Why enlightenment is boring? You see, everything is God, everything is it. You just, I don't know. Means without knowing itself, we are in so ananda. So once you are enlightened, means how it will be there.
So you have hit the nail a little bit straight on the head. Sachin was not. So again, I'm asking you. Therefore, if somebody tells you or asks you the question, is enlightenment, does it mean total surrender? So can you
Already
explain?
surrendered.
Sorry.
Surrendered. It is not surrendered. Surrendered. They are already surrendered.
Thank you. Well said. I mean, I'm not probing you further. Let the next person. Mm, I'm trying to get more into this. So, Siri, if you want to come back, what happens? Even at this point of time, Siri, before I take away to the next, before I go to Abba, Bliko, and Krishna, where in life are you when it comes to surrender? Are you in a mode of surrender? How much surrender? What have you surrendered?
Yes, yes. I'm in a mode of surrender. I accept everything nowadays because I don't know how to tell. I accept whatever happens, it is happening. Mile to bhi khush, na mile to bhi khush. It's just going on, moving on very. Because I don't ask for anything. I don't expect anything. So all these changes it's happening after coming to this call. Not so quickly. It is gradually evolved.
So I'm asking the last question to you. Is enlightenment surrender or surrendered?
Surrendered.
So that is not correct.
Once you are enlightened, surrendered only.
Once you are enlightened is different and enlightenment is different. What you are talking of now is the third level.
Yes.
You understanding what I'm saying?
Yes, yes, I understand.
A person who has completely surrendered
He is enlightened.
is not enlightened. He is liberated. So today you're touched the next peak. How there are three peaks of happiness, there are three peaks of enlightenment. The three peaks of enlightenment: being awakened, being enlightened, and being liberated. So you have hit, I was not supposed to hit this topic till the meditation in the end, but you have hit it. So let me see how many people. See, today I'm talking about just enlightenment, just being enlightened. Oh, surrender is not a small word. People are asking me questions. I'll try to go to Quora yesterday. Oh, people are asking so many questions. People are asking unbelievable questions. And what is it? So let us see. Let us. We are going next to Abba, Bliko, Krishna, and Rajanand.
Shivoham.
Shivoham.
Well, I'm certainly not enlightened. I consider that I am awakened. I understand the principle, and I believe in all the 25 points. And the surrender comes from when I have understood, when I am living that. And moment to moment, I feel that I'm not the doer. I've given the ownership to Sip. And that, to me, is surrender, but not an easy thing to achieve.
Very beautifully said. What you've said is absolutely where I would like to start from. So now you say, I have understood all these 25 points. And because I have understood these 25 points, now you say, I think I am awakened. Absolutely right. Now, if you are awakened, what is the next step? If one is awakened, that means one has to move from being awakened to being enlightened. And when Siri said, surrendered. No, surrendered means you have come, you have not, it's not just surrender, but I have surrendered. Now let me tell you what it means. Suppose you have surrendered your body, surrendered your mind, surrendered your ego. You have completely surrendered everything. Surrendered your life. That means you have gone beyond enlightenment. You've gone beyond the second, not beyond enlightened, because beyond the second step of being enlightened. So Abba, now to just make you understand, right? I am not the body. I understand it. But have you been able to surrender the desire of your tongue? I am not the body. Have you been able to surrender the mind? Which means that you tell the mind, I surrender you. I have given you up. So normally, if I went to meet somebody and I ended up not having to come back in my luxurious car, but come in an auto, I would be in a different mode. Today, I had a chance of coming in an auto because somebody was taking some statement, and then I told, okay, I told that man, the government official, I said, okay, so I will come back later. I told my driver, you drop me and come back. He said, no, I need information, so your driver has to be here. So, so this is called the ability to surrender, because I just let go. Normally, I would be huff and puff, huffing and puffing. We do this huffing and puffing. So, Abba, all those 25 points. I'm not the body. I'm not the mind. For example, I am SIP. That means you surrender your God. Are you able to surrender your God? All the points. I'm not going through all the points. Let everybody's bring their. Then what Siri told, surrendered completely, finished, surrendered. That means you have crossed that second level of being enlightened. Then you've gone to the third and ultimate peak. Be surrendered is not easy. Somebody who says I have surrendered means they have dissolved. They have completely dissolved. Completely dissolved. There's nothing left. So what you say is correct. I'm appreciating what you're saying. But you said, I am not yet enlightened. This is what you said. I want to leave you with a thought. As you continue to surrender and surrender and surrender what you have awakened, you become enlightened. So I hope you got what I'm saying, Abba. So if you are able, what you are awakened, you're awakened. You say, I'm awakened, which means intelligently I understand everything. Now you start to surrender. I'm repeating, if you keep on surrendering and surrendering and surrendering and surrendering, then you're enlightened. Then if you have surrendered and surrendered and surrendered and surrendered, you're liberated. You have completed the level, completed the peaks of enlightenment. So anything more you'd like to say, Abba? Unmute Abba. You want to say something? You have to unmute and speak. Otherwise, next is Krishna. Abba's unmuted. Abba, you want to say something more? You can unmute. Unmute Abba, please.
I'll be very honest that I'm still a little confused about this surrender and surrendered. So when you're in the process of surrendering, you are in surrender.
Correct.
But once you have finished the process of surrender, then you are.
Absolutely
Okay.
correct. For example, let me give you an example. Suppose I say, I surrender my body senses. That means my eyes, my nose, my ears, my tongue, and my skin, I have surrendered. I have decided to surrender, or I have surrendered. But it's not easy to become a master of all your senses. When all the senses come under your complete surrender, and they are surrendered, completely surrendered, they are dissolved, then you move to the third level. But don't worry about it now. Right now, what am I asking you? Try to go from awakened, try to surrender. For example, you're praying to a God. Leave it now. That's not God. Why are you clinging to that God? Surrender God. To surrender God is such a difficult thing because we have been used.
I have another question on this.
Yeah.
So my understanding was once you're enlightened, then you do not keep on coming back to the stage where you are not with it, or but
Yeah.
if you're still in the process of surrendering, then you can fluctuate.
That's why enlightenment has 3 levels. And when you reach the third level, it's just like a caterpillar has not yet started to fly like a butterfly. When you when the metamorphosis is complete, when the caterpillar is no more crawling like a worm, then you can't come back. And remember, a human being is not like a caterpillar and a butterfly, but it's a beautiful analogy. The metamorphosis of a butterfly, one who has actually been enlightened completely should realize I cannot go back to a worm. I just cannot. Why would I?
Yeah.
When I'm beautiful, when I'm flying like a beautiful butterfly, why should I crawl like a worm?
Okay, got it.
Okay. Good. Krishna, unmute Krishna, Rajanand, Siba, and Nichani. Very interesting topic, like I told you sometime.
Yes, Sir Krishna. Sir, our understanding is what is enlightenment first. Enlightenment is self-realization and God realization. And self-realization, humko, only if you surrender the I and mine, and then we realize that I am the divine soul. That is the first surrender. And the second surrender, which now when you say, so I am truly speaking, even today also, I tremble if I say I'm awakened. I somehow, I feel I'm not eligible. But now that contemplation
That's
is there.
not you. That's your mind making you tremble.
Yeah, maybe, but I'm telling you the truth. I'm telling you the truth there.
I accept.
Yeah. And, so there is a lot of contemplation. There is so much Satchitanand to hai hi. I don't know whether it's coming from the awakened stage or the enlightenment stage. Somehow I don't I really don't know all this, but आपका जो lessons, because now my stage is I'm surrendering to the Guru's teachings and I'm trying to follow as much as I can in my own capacity, I cannot. So now it is implementing what you have taught us. So now it is moving to God realization when I need to surrender the otherness. I'm nothing. वो stage में आने के लिए there is a continuous practice, a continuous sadhana, whatever I do, and especially analogy when you say if you are the wave, you are separate, and you merge with you surrendered, as Siri said, surrendered, you become part of the ocean. So, Abhi, we are trying to implement what you have taught us in AFA to leave each points. Uske liye, of course, we surrender, no? Even whatever, even if my mind plays my trick, I feel, let it be, when I have surrendered, what is the problem? वो मतलब it doesn't worry me any longer, but मुझे these terms, to identify myself with even these terms, मुझे आजकल am I awakened, am I enlightened, that also मुझे, if I have surrendered, what should I do?
So that's why we have the session today.
Yeah.
So today this will clarify. I'm asking you, you go to meet somebody who is eating banana pakoda in Kerala. He's eating nice banana pakodas, eating that lovely banana pakoda. Then you tell him, surrender, awaken. What the talking, awaken, parota, parota, give me parota. So they are not even understanding the meaning. They want to eat nice parota, fish gravy, fish curry parota. I need fish curry parota. Now these people are just involved enjoying the bhoga of this world. They don't know the meaning of enlightenment, nothing. People in this call are not like that. People in this call are asking the question, who am I? Why am I here? Somebody new comes on this call. पहली बार इतने ज्ञानी लोग हैं ये कॉल में, कैसा ये कॉल, क्या है ये कॉल? Then they start coming 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months. The awakening process keeps on improving. Are you understand? Up to now, you're with me. In this call, there are many people who are now awakened. Awakened means what? Intellectually awakened. Intellectually, I am not the body, I am not the mind, I am the SIP, I am soul, soul is SIP, therefore I am SIP. It's clear. Agar wo clear nahi hai, that means they must ask question to get clarity, because intellectually there should be no doubt at all. Now starts, remember we said that 6 feet boulder, 2 feet, 2 feet, 2 feet. Now awakened means I have climbed the first level. Now, what is the way to put awakening into action? The way to put awakening into action is to surrender. Surrender my attachment. I am attached. Surrender my attachment. I am clinging. Surrender my clinging. I am going back to mind. Surrender the mind. I am still getting egoistic. Surrender the ego. I am getting angry once in a way. Surrender the anger. Now, when this word surrender, therefore, I was in a retreat yesterday and Prabhu gave me this gift. What is enlightenment? And the answer came one word: surrender.
Yeah.
सब कुछ छोड़ो ना, छोड़ के सारी दुनिया मैं तेरे लिए, मैं जीता हूं तो बस तुझे पाने के लिए. Can we do that? When we
Yes.
start, yeah.
When we come to this call continuously, वो हमारा मकसद तो और हमारा गोल, पहले it was one of the maybe the biggest priority. Abhi it has become our only priority. It has changed. But ऐसे सोचना है क्या, जब प्रभु का ग्रेस होता है तो ऑटोमेटिकली, वैसे तो हम सरेंडर करके ही बैठा है ना, तो उसमें भी क्या लेवल्स है उसमें?
नहीं लेवल, हाँ, गुड क्वेश्चन. अभी मैं श्री को बोला, surrender, 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 surrendered. When now you think I am in the mode of surrender or I have surrendered?
You have surrendered.
Why you think like that?
Uh,
Suppose I'm faking it in this call. I'm faking it.
no, मुझे मतलब पक्का विश्वास है.
Why तुम्हें पक्का विश्वास है? Because you can see through and through. ये आदमी तो सरेंडर्ड ही है. ये आदमी नहीं तो इतना कंसिस्टेंसी नहीं हो सकता है. Every day, every way. So this is your consciousness. This is your intuition telling. Now, Krishna, this is exactly where I'm trying to help you all. Level 1, awakened. Awakened का मतलब जागना. कोई भी बोल सकता है मैं जाग गया, मैं नींद में था, अभी जाग गया. I was asleep, I was ignorant, now I am not. ठीक है, वो जागना. फिर surrender करना, the journey begins. So being enlightened also is a journey. In two parts I have made it. One part being enlightened, and the third part being liberated. Being liberated means मेरा enlightenment खत्म हो गया. मेरा और कुछ नहीं है. आई एम एवरी डे आई एम सर्चिंग. अरे कुछ है क्या, कुछ है क्या, कुछ है क्या. देयर इज नथिंग. Every time I met Swami, I met Riteshwar Maharaj, very learned person in Vrindavan, correct? What is my purpose of meeting all these saints? Time pass. I'm not doing time pass. I am listening. And I am listening and hearing, and I am in full consciousness. क्या है? और कुछ है क्या? और कुछ है क्या? And with the knowledge that there is nothing more. So where you're concerned, evaluate how much you have surrendered and how much you have not yet surrendered. How much are you stuck? How much are you still clinging? How much are you not yet free? And I don't mean to aggravate you. For example, you know, हमारे को कहते हैं आपका मतलब क्या, मैं घर छोड़ के चले जाऊं क्या?
No,
ना,
no,
घर
no,
छोड़
no,
ना.
no, sir. Because
Yeah.
I'm very clear now. I'm very clear because my good time I spend only on this. So मुझे clinging, actually ऐसे कुछ clinging है क्या? नहीं है. But because my focus is on, ऐसे नहीं कि क्या cling करेंगे. I cannot one by one. I don't want to, you know, एक by एक. I don't want to even evaluate that. क्योंकि my, and one more, आपका एक भजन है ना, कोई जगह नहीं है ऐसे, I forgot. Um, matlab, to fill, there is no space for me to, matlab, actually when there is fully you're filled with sip, आप ये भजन क्यों गाता है?
वो भजन गाता है because that is वो लिखा था ना, तो गाना है. कुछ तो करना है ना.
No,
कुछ तो
but
करना है.
that is what sometimes I think we say surrender, but are you really surrendering? वो तो मतलब, so I leave it to God's grace. हमको कितना possible we have to continue in this path, but इतना evaluation चाहिए क्या? मुझे कभी कभी ये question आ जाता है. The guru can evaluate us, but should we evaluate how much am I peer, popper? How much? Of course, वो तो detachment हो गया है in a subtle manner or whatever, but why should I daily evaluate which is not real?
Don't need to evaluate what you don't want to evaluate. Evaluate is not evaluation. It is introspection. It is gentle contemplation. It is consciousness. It is just making sure I don't slip from sip. Oh, I'm telling you, it's not so easy. Let me tell you, being Krishna, I have slipped so many times in the journey from 2014, 15, 16, 17, 18. I have slipped even little bit sometime 19, 20, 21, pull हो गया, कोई झटका लगा. Then one by one the evolution starts. For example, Prema Yoga. Prema Yoga came to me only 22, I think. Till then, I was a slave of love.
Yoga, so Prem Yoga is actually God realization. So it should
Yeah.
happen by itself. मतलब, I say हो जाता.
Nothing will happen by itself. हमें करना है. कैसा itself? How it will happen? It will happen when you love God so much. वो भी loving God भी करना है ना. Loving God हो नहीं जाता ना. Suppose, then you'll ask the question, why you're writing song? No, you're already enlightened. Then why you're writing? I've written a song.
But matlab Prem Yoga ka song and all, we understand the whole concept of Prem Yoga is so clear through that bhajan. But yesterday only when I heard that bhajan, I was thinking कि आप बोलते हैं कि मेरा please God don't leave me my, मतलब हर जगह fill करना with से, मुझे लगा आप, मैं I'm not telling about myself, when your every thought every breath is filled with sip, आपको वो भजन में क्या meaning लगा? ऐसे मुझे लगा.
वो भजन में लिखा when I was not filled with Sipna, तभी लिखा.
Okay.
वो भजन 8 साल पहले लिखा.
All right, sir.
So when I wrote it 8 years, now what am I? Why I'm singing now when already Sip is already with me? Why I'm singing?
For us.
For you. If I don't sing, how will I help you to do it? That's my. Even I wrote song 2 weeks back. अपनी आंखों में बसा कर जी भर के प्यार करूं. What's wrong? जी में आता है के पल पल मैं तुझे प्यार करूं. This is my new song. I wrote 2 weeks back. So the journey has to be, the journey continues and continues and continues till you reach that state of Premanand, Prem Anand, Satchit Anand. And it will happen. All of you are evolving a lot on the path, growing, evolving. Next, anything else? Done?
Yeah.
Rajanan, thank you. Rajanan, Siba, Nichani, Rumataji.
Om, sir.
Sir.
Sir, I will try to convey my understanding in a simple example, sir.
Very important for you. Shorter, brief answer.
But our simple, sir. Sir, mind, body, and ego are just appearances in me, the consciousness. Okay, sir. Now, in a way of duality, if I may visualize like that, I am separate from all these three entities, body, mind, and ego. And these three entities are floating in this oceanic samsara, in the boat of divine karma. What is divine karma? And I, the consciousness, is just a witness on this shore. So let the boat take them anywhere, जहाँ चाहे वहाँ जाए, autopilot की तरह ले जाए. So I should be least concerned. जैसे पंजाबी में बोलते हैं मेनू की, what to me. So I think that should be one of the ways to surrender. जो पता नहीं but क्या बोला मैंने तो I don't know.
No, very good what you're saying. But there are two types of menuki. Menuki, I don't know Punjabi, menuki. One type of menuki is indifferent. अरे मुझे क्या फर्क पड़ता है, बाहर में जाया तो मुझे क्या फर्क पड़ता है, वो अलग है. But arpanam, Prabhu arpanam, Krishna arpanam is different.
मतलब means Banuki, I meant to say that whenever let the boat move, wherever the Trivin Karma take the boat, I should be only witness to it, like that.
That you enjoy the show, na?
Enjoy in the state of bliss. In a state of bliss, I should be there on the seashore.
This morning there was a nice song playing in the temple. I was doing Aarti. It says, नाटक उसका है ये, संगीत भी उसकी है, हम तो बस कलाकार हैं, आते हैं और जाते हैं, मर्जी जो है उनकी वो मंजूर करना है, ये जीवन उनकी कृपा है, हमको अर्पण करना है, जो भी होता वो उसकी मर्जी है, नाटक ये उसकी माया है, लीला ये उसकी, हम तो बस कलाकार है, मर्जी जो उसकी होती है. This is a different, this kind of surrender to the drama, to the beautiful song. I didn't remember it today. I just heard it and I struck. So see, surrender means तुम ही सब कुछ जानत प्रीतम, तेरी इच्छा पूरत हो, दुख में सुख में मेरे प्रीतम तेरी. We get rattled, we get disturbed when something goes wrong with our loved ones. We get angry. No, there is no place for anger, hate, revenge, jealousy. There is no place for fear, worry, stress, anxiety to a person who has surrendered. The moment you keep surrendering, I surrender fear, I surrender worry, I surrender anxiety, I surrender guilt, I surrender shame, I surrender. You keep surrendering, surrendering till such time that you are free from it. You are mukt. Today I'm telling you all anew that you have to have some practice. कुछ तो साधना करना है. So look at it. What have you not yet surrendered? What are you still a slave of? Important. Okay, clear? Siba, thank you. Siba.
Pranam Guruji.
Pranam.
How was your rickshaw ride today?
Oh, amazing. Auto. Follow.
I felt very nice, Guruji, to see you in rickshaw, Guruji. Guruji, first of all, I would like to say ki there are 3 steps, Guruji. First of all, when you are not enlightened, that time you are in the stage of pendulum, Guruji, swinging here and there and here and dukhi sukhi. Then secondly, Guruji, कि when you lose everything and you become nothing is mine. मैं क्या लेके आया था, मैं क्या लेके जाऊंगा, और मेरी हस्ती क्या है जब मैं इतना मस्ती कर रहा हूँ. That is the second level, Guruji. And the third thing is that, Guruji, you just become witness of each and every situation, Guruji. बस दृष्टा भाव में रहना, स्थित प्रज्ञ होके रहना, बस बाकी, and that is the state of bliss, आनंद and peace, Guruji. That I have to tell, Guruji.
These are your creations. आपके 3 level चलेगा. It's good to have the 3 levels for you. But if you want to follow the 3 levels which are prescribed, the 3 levels which are prescribed are awakened, enlightened, liberated. नाम है.
Levels है, Guruji, from ignorance to these stage. We move to these.
ना, अभी आप कुछ अलग confusion में चले. आप terms पूरे अलग terms use कर रहे हैं.
Okay.
Don't use the wrong terms.
Okay.
You have to grow. Am I awakened? Am I absolutely awakened? Means awakened का मतलब समझते हो, मैं completely जाग गई हूं क्या? 1. जागना. 2. Am I enlightened? वो मैं जो जाग रही हूं वो मैंने जीवन में किया है क्या?
वो मैंने
And
जीवन
third,
नहीं. Secondly, what did you say, Guruji? वो मैंने
second is awakened.
नहीं, वो मैंने जीवन में किया क्या मतलब, Guruji, give some example of that. वो
अरे
मैंने
you are, I just now told ना, the call, first call, अगर किसी ने बोला I am not the body, मतलब क्या I am not the body?
realizing that.
ना, every day I am not the body. Every day I want vada pav, vada pav, vada pav, pav bhaji, misal pav, vada pav, vada pav, vada pav, vada pav, vada pav. क्या है मतलब I am not the body? You are slave of the body ना. एक दिन वड़ा पाव नहीं मिला तो क्या, एक दिन वो आदमी आया, वो खाना ठंडा था, बोला आई एम अवेकेंड, प्लेट उठा के बीबी के फेस पे धमाक मारा, क्या अवेकेंड है तुम?
नहीं.
Awakening must be awakening in action. Awaken in action means I am now enlightened. ये 25 points which we have extended to 40 points. एक ही बात, 25 points होती है, हमने जब extend किया है. These awakening points, we must put them in our life. We must move. For example, driving test. आप जब driving test जाएंगे, आपको license मिलेगा, ऐसा ही.
नहीं, you have to give that test.
हाँ, वो टेस्ट देता है, वो आरटीओ का इंस्पेक्टर बोला है गाड़ी चलाओ, यू टर्न मारो, पार्किंग करो. अगर सब कर सकता है फिर वो पास करता है, नहीं तो फेल कर देता है. लर्निंग थियोरेटिकली अवेकनिंग, putting it into your practice in your life, being enlightened, completing the process, completely surrendered. मैं क्या हूं, कुछ भी नहीं, सब कुछ तुम ही हो प्रभु, तुम बिन मैं क्या, कुछ भी ना, लहर एक हूं मैं प्रभु, आता मैं जाता. When you're in that state of nothingness, उसके बाद क्या हुआ? Surrendered, completely surrendered.
गुरुजी, बट वी आर लिविंग इन संसारा ना गुरुजी, मतलब अभी तो सब कुछ छोड़ा तो नहीं है ना गुरुजी. वी आर देयर ना स्टिल एट इन द फैमिली गुरुजी. फैमिली मतलब गुरुजी वो सिर्फ लोगों के फैमिली में तो है ना गुरुजी. तो
क्या, तो मैंने क्या सिखाया? फैमिली को किक आउट करना है क्या?
नहीं गुरुजी, बट अभी ये जो है माइंड, ये कितना मतलब गुरुजी इट इज कमिंग, मतलब जैसे हम लोग रीबर्थ, बॉर्न रीबर्थ गुरुजी लेके आए, तो ये भी तो होगा ना गुरुजी. अभी पहले जैसे तो नहीं है, पर कम से कम मतलब 80
माय डियर
गुरुजी.
ये दुनिया में मुक्ति पाना, मोक्ष पाना हर एक का बस के बात नहीं है. You can be living in your house and taking care of Trishla, but be completely liberated. Means you are completely detached attachment. Means you have no mind. Means you have no ego. Means you are living as the soul. Soul is sip. Everybody is sip. This has become a reality of your life.
या
आपने प्रोसेस कंप्लीट किया तो फिर आप यू बिकम लाइक राजा जनक. राजा जनक वाज अ किंग, लेकिन वो जीवन मुक्ता था.
Okay. He was not liberated, Guruji.
ऑफ कोर्स जीवन मुक्ता का मतलब
अच्छा
क्या है?
हाँ जीवन मुक्त हाँ सॉरी गुरुजी सॉरी
अशोक मिचानी.
गुरुजी I have to ask second question afterwards.
Yes, one more question. Yes.
Guruji, mind ME is reborn, Guruji. तो गुरुजी with the body but the suffering, अभी बॉडी उसको सेम, अभी मेरा अगर एमई रहा तो मैं दूसरे बॉडी में जाऊंगी, पर सफरिंग तो वो बॉडी के लिए है ना गुरुजी. अगर वो नहीं, मतलब अभी सीबा तो नहीं रहने वाली, पर कोई ना कोई तो आने वाला है ना गुरुजी, तो वो सफरिंग तो उसको तो होने वाली है ना गुरुजी. तो
हाँ, होगा.
हाँ तो पर
होगा.
सेम बॉडी तो नहीं मिलने वाली, पर एमई तो साथ में आए जाएगा ना गुरुजी. तो
एमी
फिर
किधर जाएगा? एमी ऑटो में जाएगा या एमी बस में जाएगा?
नहीं गुरुजी, एमी के साथ दूसरा बॉडी जो आएगा तो
नहीं,
उसको suffering
एमी कैसे ऑटो में जाएगा, बस में जाएगा?
गुरुजी वो सिप को मालूम गुरुजी वो कैसे आएगा गुरुजी, बट वो
एमी को बॉडी में ही आना है. विदाउट बॉडी एमी कैसे आएगा?
हाँ तो मैं बॉडी दूसरे बॉडी में आएगा ना गुरुजी, पर सफरिंग तो सफरिंग के साथ ही आएगा ना, क्योंकि वो पहले का जो पास्ट का हिसाब बाकी है वो
तो आपका क्वेश्चन, हाँ, सफरिंग आएगा तो फिर प्रॉब्लम क्या है?
तो लिबरेशन कैसे हो गया गुरुजी फिर?
लिबरेशन तभी होगा जब एमी नहीं होगा ना.
हाँ अभी नहीं है ना, तो पहले का तो है ना, पहले का तो था ना गुरुजी
क्या
संचित.
पहले का?
अभी जैसे हम लोग ये कॉल पे आते, कितना हम लोग नीचे जाते थे संकल्प विकल्प में गुरुजी, अप एंड डाउन वी वर इनटू टोटल माइंड स्टेट गुरुजी.
Don't lose the focus of the question.
नहीं
Emmy is born in a body. What is your question?
वही तो गुरुजी, पहले का पास्ट का जो एमी है, अभी एनलाइटनमेंट, अभी समझ रहे थे गुरुजी सब कुछ. पहले का क्या फिर?
कौन सा पहले का?
जो पास्ट का था 50 इयर्स बैक जो था, वो जो उसका जो क्या था उसका क्या गुरुजी?
अभी आप पूरा माइंड स्टेट में है.
नहीं गुरुजी, यू आर नॉट गुरुजी, आई कैनॉट टेल यू, आई कैनॉट एक्सप्लेन द आंसर क्वेश्चन गुरुजी.
Explain clearly. Why are you moving here and there? Stick to the question. Again, tell everybody will benefit. Stick to the question clearly.
गुरुजी, according to our understanding, and it is this कि माइंड और ईगो वापिस रिबॉर्न हो जाएगा. ओके
Correct.
हाँ तो फिर बॉडी तो इधर बर्न होने वाली है, इधर ही
Correct.
वाला. और फिर हम लोगों ने जो पिछला पास्ट का जो किया है गुरुजी, जो पास्ट में किया था, जो भी 50 इयर्स बैक वॉट एवर आई हैव डन व्हेन आई वाज बाला, तो गुरुजी उसका क्या, उसका रिकॉर्ड क्या गुरुजी फिर? तो वो
तो अभी
दूसरी बॉडी जन्म लेगी गुरुजी, पर वो बॉडी के साथ वो सफरिंग भी तो आएगी ना गुरुजी.
ऑफ कोर्स आएगी ना.
तो फिर लिबरेशन कहाँ हुआ गुरुजी फिर?
लिबरेशन तब होगा जब माइंड एंड ईगो नहीं है. आप व्हाई आर यू ब्रिंगिंग बैक द बॉडी? अगर लिबरेशन नहीं होगा तो माइंड एंड ईगो रीबॉर्न करेगा. There are only two possibilities in the death: liberation or reincarnation.
गुरुजी वो जो बॉडी मिलेगा, अभी मेरा तो बॉडी नहीं मिलेगा, दूसरे का तो बॉडी मिलेगा, उसको तो सफरिंग रहेगी ना गुरुजी.
दूसरे का बॉडी नहीं मिलेगा. दूसरे का बॉडी किधर से मिलेगा?
कुछ तो बॉडी मिलेगा ना, ह्यूमन बॉडी.
कुछ बॉडी नहीं मिलेगा. इतने आप समझ नहीं है क्या? आप वो माइंड एंड ईगो एक जाइगोट में आएगा, फिर वो बॉडी बनेगा, मिलेगा नहीं. ये तरबूज नहीं है, मार्केट में जाके तरबूज लेगा.
बनेगा. अच्छा बनेगा.
और वो बॉडी किसका बॉडी है?
वो मेरा तो नहीं, किसी और का रहेगा ना गुरुजी.
किसी और का बोरो किया, भाड़ा पे लिया.
नहीं किसी, मतलब गुरुजी आई एम नॉट गेटिंग.
You are completely in mind state. I'm totally telling you. Please listen now in consciousness.
Okay. Guruji, I'm not. Sorry.
This body, every body will die.
Yeah, Guruji.
Any problem in that?
No.
The mind and ego will not go and take somebody else's body, na?
नहीं.
You are telling the mind and ego will go and take somebody else's body. वो बोलना ही गलत है. कौन से imagination यहाँ बोलते हैं? Mind and ego will take somebody else's body. Mind and ego will be reborn in one cell. एक ही cell.
हाँ.
और फिर एक बॉडी बनेगा. वो किसके लिए बॉडी बन रहा है?
वो माइंड और ईगो का जो कर्मा,
उसी के लिए, वो कर्मा के लिए तो बॉडी बन रहा है ना.
पर वो कर्मा को तो गुरुजी, पर वो बॉडी को भी तो सफरिंग रहेगा ना गुरुजी. सफरिंग तो रहेगा.
बॉडी अलग नहीं है. वो बॉडी इज पार्ट ऑफ द माइंड एंड ईगो. नो, इट्स नॉट सेपरेट.
I'll try to understand. I'm not getting it, Guruji. I'll try to.
Yeah, because you cannot understand when you are in mind state.
Guruji, I'm not at all in the mind state. Ulta, Guruji, I am very much focused today, Guruji.
Then your mind is not, you're not understanding, your mind is not letting you understand simple. The mind and ego, you are saying, किसके body में आएगा? अरे थोड़ी mind and ego, थोड़ी ready-made एक body है, mind and ego aeroplane से आता है. Mind and ego एक cell में आता है, the first cell. वो cell conception इसलिए होता है because mind and ego carrying karma comes in the first cell. उस टाइम में body है नहीं, कहाँ है body? जब माइंड एंड ईगो पहले कण में आता है, बॉडी है ही नहीं. उस माइंड एंड ईगो के लिए एक बॉडी क्रिएट किया जाता है फॉर द सफरिंग ऑफ दैट माइंड एंड ईगो.
क्रिएट किया जाता है.
Contemplate, please contemplate. Ashok Nishani.
Okay, Guruji. Thank you.
Don't worry about it. You please आराम से सोचो.
Shivam Saji.
Ashok Nishani.
Shivam Saji.
Shivam.
Saji, to attain enlightenment, one has to accept and surrender.
Yes.
So, but this is the first level of enlightenment. If I'm in the first level of enlightenment.
No, not the first level. Accept and surrender is not in the first level.
Okay. So,
in the first level, you have to understand, I am not Ashok Nichani. Still, I can see your name is Ashok Nichani. First level is to understand, I am not Ashok Nichani. If you still say you are Ashok Nichani, that means you are not yet willing to leave Ashok Nichani. What is the meaning of surrender? You know? To give up Ashok Nichani.
Give up everything.
No, give up Ashok Nichani.
Okay.
Where you are giving, you are not willing to give up Ashok Nichani. That means enlightenment is not possible.
Okay.
You are saying the first level. No, you are already past the first level. Ashok Nichani has passed the first level to understand, realize, I am not Ashok Nichani. Ashok Nichani has realized, I am not Ashok Nichani. Then if you are already, if you are not Ashok Nichani, why you are clinging to Ashok Nichani name? You are clinging to Ashok Nichani name because you are not capable of giving it up. What is giving it up? It's called surrender. Why you are not surrendering Ashok Nichani name? Are you clear or not clear what I'm saying?
Saji, what I thought, if I drop hate, revenge, lust, anger, guilt, worry and all, and I live in the frame, all these negative things I drop, and I live in the framework of all karma, laws of karma and spirituality. So I can get enlightenment.
You cannot get enlightenment without surrender.
So first thing for surrender is to drop my name.
Not the first. That's not the first thing, but that is part of. Okay, I'm asking. See, if you still think I am Ashok Nichani, what does it mean? It means are you enlightened?
Okay, sir.
What is Ashok Nichani means? What is Ashok Nichani?
That I'm not sick.
That means you have you're sticking to your identity.
Identity.
What is enlightenment? Enlightenment is realizing I am not I.
I am sick.
Are you agreeing? How can you be SIP? If you want to be SIP, first what you must do?
Drop the I.
If the wave says I am a wave, I am a wave, I am a wave, can it ever be the ocean?
No, sir, it will not become the ocean.
When it will become an ocean?
It's only a part of the ocean.
So when it will become ocean? When the wave will become ocean?
When it becomes one with the divine.
When it surrenders.
One with the divine.
When it surrenders and tells I am nothing, I am not a wave. So Ashok, you are already awakened. You know you can give 1 hour lecture in any, you go Ramakrishna Mission, you can give 1 hour lecture on this subject. But that is only theory.
Yes.
Being awakened is theory. Being enlightened is practicals.
Practical.
When you do MBBS examination, can you become a doctor without doing first thing what they do in MBBS? You know anybody who has done MBBS?
No, sir.
I met a girl. I said, how's your MBBS doctor going? and she said, I have given it up. I said, why? She said, sir, they told me to cut a frog. They told me to dissect a frog. Anybody has done MBBS here in this room? Anybody has done? Please explain. Oh, if you cannot cut, if you cannot cut a frog, how will you cut a human being? How will you be doctor? How will you ever done?
Not possible.
Sip Prakash, you have done? Have you cut a frog? Sip Prakash? Or you are talking theory? Okay. So when your time comes, Sip Prakash, explain. So Ashok, enlightenment is the ability to surrender. We have to surrender. Whether you surrender the name first or last. What is the meaning of surrendering the name? It is showing it is telling yourself कि मैं जान गया हूं, मैं अशोक नहीं हूं, मैं शिवा हूं. Imagine Shiv Bhagwan telling, I am Ashok Nichani. Will you accept? Will you bow down to him? Shiv Bhagwan, he says, मेरा नाम है Ashok Nichani. Then will you still do namaskar to Shiv Bhagwan?
No one will do that.
No, I'm just trying to make it look crazy for you to understand. Rumataji, surrender, Ashok Nichani. Surrender is a very, very important aspect of being enlightened. If you want enlightenment, you are not, sir. It is, I'm asking you one question. What car you drive?
Honda Amaze.
Honda Amaze. If somebody asks you on the road to surrender this Honda Amaze and go in auto, will you do?
No, I will not do that, sir.
If somebody says surrender Honda Amaze and gives you Mercedes Benz, will you do?
I shouldn't do that.
Why? If they're giving you free exchange. They're saying get down from Honda Amaze, you're a lovely man, you're getting gift of Mercedes Benz. Next piche khada hai, brand new car. So will you do or you will not do?
Sirji, I'm content with what I have.
That means you're not enlightened. If a man who's living in samsar doesn't want to give up Honda for Mercedes, kuch upar mein thoda kuch problem hai. It is not about being content. You can be content with Mercedes also, na? You are speaking out of mind state. Practically, you would have actually shifted in the Mercedes Benz. If the man came and told you the Deepavali offer, your Honda has been taken and you have been given a Mercedes Benz, आप उसको लड्डू पेड़ा खिला के आप Mercedes में बैठ के आप घर जाते. Why would you be not wanting to when you're getting free Mercedes Benz? It's not about, you're not being greedy about it. Somebody is giving you free because you're a devotee of Shiva. Then why would you not take it? So, Ashok Nichani, this is not 1 + 1 = 2. Enlightenment is 1 + 1 = 11.
Yeah.
We have to understand the whole subject. Okay, good. Rumataji and Prakash, he may want to experience. If he has cut a frog, he can talk, not out of theory. Rumataji and Sip Prakash, and then Vikrant and Kanika. We will end with that. I think we will not have time for more than Kanika. Yes.
Pranam Guruji, Shivoham.
Pranam. Yes, Mataji.
Guruji, during Instagram, your pendulum example is very good. Try to become still. Really, I loved it. And secondly, Guruji, आपका भजन ही आंसर है. समर्पण करना जीवन जो ये जिसने दिया वही संभालेंगे जो
Very good.
होता. गुरुजी, सरेंडर तो हमारा वी आर डेली आर many times our exam is there whether we are able to surrender or not surrender.
Actually, इसलिए अशोक निशानी को मैं समझते बोल के अशोक निशानी गूगली मार दिया. He confused my question answer. तो अगर किसी ने अपना मारुति कार सरेंडर करके मर्सिडीज बेंज लिया तो वो तो he'll be very happy. तो किसी ने ये अगर संसार को सरेंडर किया तो बदले में क्या मिल रहा है रूमाता जी? अगर आपने समर्पण किया तो क्या मिल रहा है?
गुरुजी, सच्चित आनंद में है हम शांति में, पीस में, लव में,
हम थोड़ी बेवकूफ हैं रूमाता जी. हम वड़ा पाव का सरेंडर कर रहे हैं, डोसे को सरेंडर कर रहे हैं. उसके बदले में क्या मिल रहा है? उसके बदले में प्रभु मिल रहा है.
जी गुरुजी.
और जो इंसान, द पर्सन हु इज नॉट रेडी टू सरेंडर हिज मॉर्टल एग्जिस्टेंस फॉर इमॉर्टल नेक्टर, वो तो बेवकूफ आदमी है. जो सरेंडर नहीं करता है रियलिटी, वो तो अविद्या में, घोर अविद्या में. तो you understand, Rumata ji? Surrender क्यों करना
Yes,
है?
Guruji, when we are in the feeling of Samarpan, we are in Satchitanand.
But the question is क्या समर्पण करेंगे रुमाता जी, वो बताइए.
गुरुजी वो तो कई बार ऐसा होता है कि आप समर्पण कर पाते हैं कि नहीं कर पाते. जीवन में बहुत एग्जाम्पल्स
So
आते
I'm only
हैं.
asking you one question कि क्या समर्पण करना है?
गुरुजी जिस चीज को त्याग करने में हमें भगवान की तरफ भगवान से मिल रहे हैं उसको करना है, चाहे वो
Good.
टेस्ट का हो, चाहे वो म्यूजिक लिसनिंग का हो, चाहे वो आई से कुछ देखने का हो, किसी तरह का भी हो, जो हमें भगवान की ओर ले जा रहा है वही हमें स्टिक करना है और बाकी सब छोड़ना है.
Basically, if I surrender I become everything.
Yes,
If the wave has to surrender itself, the ring has to surrender itself to become gold. If the ring is not willing to surrender itself, it will never become gold.
yes,
A
Guruji.
man is not willing to surrender, he will never become God. Sip Prakash. Thank you, Rumata ji. Prakash,
Thank you,
Vikrant, and
Guruji.
Kanika. Prakash, Vikrant, and Kanika.
Namaste, Guruji.
Namaste. So, have you done MBBS?
This surrender term is usually used in the terms of war. So, in war, one side loses completely, only then the surrender term is used. Similarly, when the mind, body, ego surrenders completely to the soul consciousness and subconsciousness, then you can proceed for enlightenment. Secondly, when the lower self surrenders completely to the upper self or higher self, then you can look for enlightenment. And thirdly, when duality surrenders to non-duality, then only you can search for enlightenment. Otherwise, there is
correct.
no ceasefire.
What you're saying, yeah.
Ceasefire is in between. You go from mind state to consciousness, consciousness to mind state. So there should be no ceasefire. There should be complete surrender.
You're using very interesting terminology, but sometimes the words can be confusing. Be careful. The lower self does not have to surrender to the higher self. You said the lower self has to surrender to the higher self. Actually,
Yeah.
the lower self becomes the higher self. When the lower self is surrendered completely, it means when it's eliminated, the higher self emerges. You said that from duality, we have to surrender to non-duality. Actually, not like that. The moment you eliminate duality, automatically there is non-duality. Are you understanding? I'm just saying the same thing, what you're saying, but the words you are using, you must use the right words. Your thought is very perfect.
To be annihilated. Similarly, the lower self has to be annihilated. And the mind,
Actually,
body, and ego.
Actually, there's no annihilation. Annihilation is the wrong word. You have to have transcendence. Transcendence means, for example, the caterpillar doesn't have to be annihilated. If the caterpillar is annihilated, the butterfly will not be there. Annihilated means murdered, destroyed. The caterpillar has to metamorphose. The caterpillar has to transcend. You have to evolve. You have to grow. You have to climb over from duality to non-duality, from lower self to higher self. It is a process of transformation.
Okay.
All right. So what you're saying is correct. Only the word. I'm only correcting the word. But what you're saying is correct. Have you done MBBS? You were raising your hand when we were talking about frog.
Yeah, during our times we had to cut earthworms. We had to cut frogs, and even sometimes the guinea pigs, and sometimes they had.
Have you done MBBS?
Yeah.
Without cutting frog, will you get the MBBS degree?
We have done, but once Maneka Gandhi became environment minister, she banned all this cutting frogs and all this in medical
So
colleges.
now it's not there? Now it's stopped?
Now they don't use. Now they use artificial mannequins and all. Okay. Otherwise, we have to use dogs.
Thank you for sharing.
Sacrifice.
Thank you for sharing. Vikrant and Kanika to close. Thank you.
Shivam,
Vikrant and Kanika.
Guruji, please correct me if I'm wrong. For me, surrender means when we free ourselves from the clutches of the mind and detach from plain pleasures and all the outcomes of our actions. And we come to know that we are not the driver of our life, but we'll definitely reach the final destination.
This is awakening.
Okay.
You use the word we come to know, right? We come to know all these things. This is awakening. We are awakened.
I mean that we realize. Guruji.
When you realize you're awakened, what is the next step after being awakened?
After being awakened, the next step is be.
You have to become a master of your body. You have to become a master of your mind. You have to be locked in consciousness. So you have to surrender desire. You have
Yes.
to surrender. Suppose you're getting angry. You have to surrender anger. Suppose you hate somebody. No, how can you hate if you are enlightened? You can't hate.
Yes, Guruji.
If you still hate somebody, what does it show?
I'm still in the mind phase state.
You are still in awakening. You're not enlightened.
Yes.
So I'm guiding you all. Today's subject is very important. Have you started the process of surrender? That one word surrender can take you from AFA to EFE. That one word surrender is very important word, very, very, very important word. And not surrendering from something to nothing. You're surrendering from something to everything. The beauty is that you are able to surrender from something to everything. I surrendered. And when I surrendered, I became everything. Not I lost anything. I did not lose anything. But the problem is it's very difficult because the mind and the ego and the body, they keep on troubling. They keep on troubling. They keep on troubling.
So, Guruji, my understanding on the surrender is correct or is it wrong?
So what I told you, what is, again repeat in one line, what is your understanding of surrender?
So, Guruji, in one word is a detachment from plain pleasures and all the outcomes of my actions, and I'm doing nothing, but it is still taking me to the final destination.
It
Means
is
I'm
all part
surrendering.
of, it is part of surrender. Yes, what you're saying is surrender, but is it all to do with surrender? No.
Part.
Surrender is much larger. For
Yes.
example, have you surrendered your name?
Not at the moment, Guruji.
Yeah, because if you are sticking to your name, so are you Vikrant Kulkarni?
But Guruji, I have an understanding that even if you're calling me Vikrant, it is just an identity of my body. So does it matter? If
So
even
if you are awakened, it's perfectly okay. But if you want to reach that state of complete enlightenment, go and look at every enlightened master. Swami Chinmayananda, Swami Vivekananda. Why did they change their name?
because they know that they are not their identity.
Because they wanted to transform their life completely. They did not, you cannot call a butterfly a caterpillar. You cannot call a butterfly a worm.
Yes, Guruji.
So you are on the first level of awakened. If you want to be enlightened, I'm not saying that you should remove Vikrant Kulkarni, but you're the soul in Vikrant Kulkarni. So you
Yes.
can say, I'm Vikrant Kulkarni soul, or I'm Vikrant Kulkarni Ruh, or Atma, whatever you call it. But you are not Vikrant Kulkarni. If you say you're Vikrant Kulkarni, then ignorance is, you're enveloped by that ignorance.
Okay, Guruji. I understand.
And I'm not saying you have to give it up as the name in my passport is still the same what it was. I don't know when I will get time to go and change the name as my passport. I feel it's irrelevant. But ultimately, one day, if I can, I should do it.
Yes. That what I thought, Guruji, that even if I change my name will remain same in the documents. So
Yeah, no, you don't need to change your name in the documents. That's not important. But you need to change your name. For example, Bliko. I don't call him Bharat. If I call him Bharat, I will still think he's just Bharat. But now, every time I call him Bliko, he remembers I am Bharat living in consciousness. If I say Bala, then Bala will be Vada Pav Bala. If I say Siba, she is the soul in Bala. So every time I say Siba, she knows she is not Bala, she is Siba. It's very important for us to have this realization.
yes, Guruji. Yes.
Last, Kanika. Time is over. I'm sorry for the delay, but we will close in 2 minutes. Kanika, quick comment and then we close.
Sure. Namaste, AiR. Namaste, Sangaji. So, just quick question. I had asked about this yesterday also. So, let's say a place is already infested with roaches. Then, am I supposed to just do arti of the cockroaches?
No. Put agarbatti, and with the agarbatti, the cockroach may go away. There's something called, when I say agarbatti, there is some fumigation. So the fumigation will try to kill as less cockroaches as possible.
Okay.
See, let me tell you one thing. When I was not awakened, I met a Jain Muni. I met a Jain Muni and he came and he told me, हम कुछ नहीं खाते हैं, हम ये अनियन भी नहीं खाते, वो भी नहीं खाते हैं. I told him, स्वामी जी आपके पास चप्पल भी नहीं है, आप कैसे चलता है ऐसा, आप सिटीज में कैसे चलता है, हम चप्पल नहीं पहनता है. तो I asked him, हमको कैसे जीना है, आप बताओ हमें. हम तो शू पहनता है, हम डेली 2-4 लोग कीड़ा को मारता होगा. I'll be killing at least few कीड़ाs. He gave me that Jain Muni taught me something which I'm teaching you today. He said, जो आवश्यक है वो करो,
Got
जो
it.
अनावश्यक है मत करो.
Got it. Thank
If
you.
आवश्यक है किसी को कॉकरोच को मारना है, आवश्यक है तो करो, अनावश्यक है तो मत करो. So beautiful word. So I have a Zoom call based on this आवश्यक and अनावश्यक. We will do a Zoom call on what is necessary and what is not necessary. My dear, thank you, Anika. My dear friends, every day at 8 o'clock, you have as much time to ask questions. At 8:55, I have no option but to close the call. Today it's already 9:03. And I don't like to delay beyond 9. So I'll spend 1 minute in closing because it's very important to have this closure. Enlightenment is total surrender. I don't think anybody really paid attention to the topic today. This is what I feel. Except 1 or 2 people. I think Siri was completely on the topic. That's why she went beyond surrender. And she spoke about complete surrendered. Enlightenment is total surrender means that when you are actually in that state of awakened and you move to a state of being enlightened, you lose sight of yourself. You dissolve into SIP. You don't say, I am not I am SIP. You don't say it, you become it. And you cannot become it unless you let go. In a beautiful bhajan, I say, सांसों की माला में सिमरू मैं पी का नाम, खुद को छोड़ा जो उसको मिल गया भगवान. खुद को छोड़ा जो means the one who has completely surrendered. And complete surrender is not in words. And I told you, there are 3 levels. Being awakened, then you surrender to be enlightened. And when you're completely surrendered, you are liberated. The one who is completely surrendered is unstoppable, irreversible. The one who has given up everything, one who has let go of everything, that person is a mukta, a jivan mukta. And that's our ultimate goal, to live as the divine soul, to let go of this samsara, which is not ours. We brought nothing, we will take nothing. We brought nobody, we will take nobody. This truth, we are already awakened, but we are clinging. And as long as there's clinging, there'll be suffering. When there's surrender, then there'll be no wonder. You accept, you don't protest, you completely dissolve into the divine. With folded hands, I bow down to you.